It's Kringle time. Sit back and relax as we dive into a world of laughter and learning with the Kringle Brothers, reminding us that we are better together.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Hello, how is
Welcome to
everyone?
Kringle Time. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Howe, and
Herbie.
that's like the end of the show. We'll keep working on that script. So, Herbie, tell me. So, how's your week been going? Have you had a good week?
Well, apparently no, because I have no practice whatsoever.
What? No practice?
Well, you just said we have to work on the script better.
Well, just no. That was just the entrance. Hi, I'm Michael Howe, and I'm your other host. All right, never mind.
Oh, that's what you want me to say. Okay, I can do that.
Right.
Hi, I'm your other
Forget
host.
about that. Tell me. I'm so excited for you. Tell me how the Tigers game went.
Well, the Tigers game was so much fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get to throw out the first pitch, but I did take a lot of pictures. I probably saw anywhere between 300 to 500 people in amount of time. And then they did something really crazy.
Yes.
After I was finished, it was roughly right around the sixth inning. They let me alone in the concourse.
They don't know you as well as I do.
In the concourse area, I did more picture taking and talking to people. And you know what's fun about baseball games?
Yeah.
There's a lot of beer, and adults can get weird.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you to give an example of that. I'm going to just trust that everyone realizes that can happen.
But do you know what the most fun was? Is I worked with an individual, a Grinch, who was amazing. And one of the things he told me was, he said, Santa, your improv skills are on point. I wasn't even sure where you were going with a couple of your things, but whatever you did, it is all connected. So it gives some validity of what we're talking about and what we're doing. That just made me so happy. Well, plus, I got to spend the afternoon with my Mrs. Claus, so that was kind of fun.
The heat didn't kill you? Because I know you were in the afternoon.
It was a little toasty, but you know what? I think we all get this. You get that performer adrenaline, and next thing you know is you don't feel it until you're done on your way home, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I am so tired.
I agree with that. Well, I'm excited for tonight's show.
Wait, no, you're bypassing it. I just have to say, if anybody out there has not seen it, look for the clip of Santa Michael singing the national anthem for the baseball game he did. You will be amazed at his voice. Frank Sinatra, look out.
Oh, dude.
Michael Howe on the scene. Yeah.
And then we've got one of our guest stars going to rebuke that, you know.
Well, you know, that's a good segue into
that it is. Well, before we do that first, I just want to welcome everybody. Kane, Jim, and Sue, and Charlie. It's really good. And David is here, and Phineas. Oh, he's in there too. And another Dave.
Let's Alan is in there, and Joe Edie.
And Oliver, and Joe, and John. It's good to see you guys. Welcome to Kringle Time. I'm so glad you're here.
Yes, I am so happy everyone's here. What?
No, go ahead.
I don't know. Well, all I know is this. We have an amazing guest panel with us tonight, and we have some amazing performers in there. They can basically take any character you can think of and bring this character to life. So, Michael, who do we have up first?
Well, you know what? I'm just so happy to have back again, you know, a great friend, a mentor to me in many areas. You know how you just like my relationship with you, there's certain people that you can go, you've got to help me. Let me download. And our next guest is one of those that just allows me to be me more than, well, whatever. We'll leave that alone. Would you please welcome Dr. Santa Bruce Kotowich?
Yay!
Oh, Bruce, I'm so glad that you've come on tonight. You know, he's a part of the Claus Network, and Bruce is doing something wonderful, something brand new in that segment with him and what they work with. And I wanted Bruce to come on and share a great learning opportunity that we have. But before we dive into that, I'm trying to remember, Bruce, how did we meet?
Okay, from what I remember,
that's a good way to preface it. It may not be true, but this is what I perceived. Yes.
I think the first time we actually connected in person was pre-COVID at one of the first Red Suit conclaves. We were at the same table. We were I think we called ourselves the Land of Misfit Toys or something because
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we did.
all our
right.
tables, like all three of us somehow sat at the same table, and everyone, all the other tables were really proper, and we're told that, well, you have to have a table name. So you know, Misfit Toys we were.
That so fits us too.
That does. And I'd be thinking, that was true. No, no.
I
But no,
think
but okay, because at the table wasn't Harry Carlson also with us and bopping in and out, and
yeah, he was bopping in and out at the time.
Yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah.
oh, I forget, like there was what, eight of us, and we just basically had our own conclave to
Yeah,
ourselves.
we did. It was we participated with everybody. We
Did.
did follow instructions. I don't want people
Played
to think
well.
we were
We played well
completely
with
out in
others,
the right field rebellious or anything,
right? We played well with others.
We do. So a lot of you don't know, but Bruce, go ahead and tell people that what your doctorate is in some of your background and what you do for a living.
Well, my doctorate is a DMA, a Doctor of Musical Arts. I I was teaching high school. I was doing a lot of stage work, doing a lot of vocal work, doing a lot of conducting, doing a lot of collaborative piano work, and the high school felt I should go off and get a master's degree so I could become don't laugh, a school administrator. And I thought, well, I've got cousins and other relations that are school administrators. I thought, yeah, it's kind of a curse. So I auditioned everywhere in the States because I just wanted to get out of Canada. I wanted to see new perspective. I wanted to go someplace that was huge that I could get lost in.
Right.
And the right fit, I think, relationship is so important. And for me, the right relationship was in Cincinnati at College Conservatory of Music. There was just something right about the place. And of course, like I grew up watching WKRP in Cincinnati, and I thought,
Oh,
why am I going there? Like,
I love the
Frozen
Thanksgiving
turkeys.
one. The Thanksgiving one. Sorry, that was iconic for me. Okay, you love Cincinnati.
but it was the right place. And what was really funny was that I was also part of my program was I had to get professional experience. So I was the director of liturgy and music at St. Michael Catholic Parish up in Sharonville. Well, Cincinnati, mega German hub, a lot of German immigrants. So St. Nicholas Day is a huge thing. So the parish would do a huge St. Nicholas Fest. So went home for American Thanksgiving. I brought my Santa kit down with me. Well, I was hosting a study group in my apartment, and one of my colleagues just happened to rummage through my closet because we're all nosy, and he found one of my suits, who he then told the director of the choral conducting program. Do you know this about Kotowich? We think that he knows someone. Well, I'm being dragged into the office. I'm thinking, okay, I'm being deported. I did something wrong. Well, I became the conservatory's Santa for Feast of Carols for the next 6 years. But the benefit was that they got me in the costume shop. They got me with the wig maker. They got me with the makeup people, the musical theater people. So besides working as being a conductor and working vocally as a singer as my second area, I got all this extra work and coaching from the opera and musical theater people on about how to be a performing Santa.
Wow, that's
So,
cool.
oh, by the way, I didn't mention that I didn't bother going back to Winnipeg because karma exists.
Yes.
Because now I'm the director of the School of Creative Arts at the University of Windsor. Basically, I'm a university principal now. So karma does come around. But
Yes, it does.
it brings wonderful, wonderful blessings.
Oh, that's awesome. So in all of your educational experiences and then a little bit more about being Santa, I mean, so how did that morph? Because you've done some phenomenal things that I love hearing your stories.
Well, how many times have you performed at Carnegie Hall?
I've prepared. Oh, Herbie. Um,
It wasn't on the nose. We just knew it.
I think I've prepared choirs for, I think, 8 concerts, and I've conducted one as a solo conductor.
Well, all of that.
And we're supposed to go back, but the American dollar is really expensive right now.
Yeah. So all of that, what I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the people can glean, our listeners can glean from, is that when you talk about performing, and not only as a Christmas performer, you understand some of those fundamental things that your encouragement then is to make us better, right? And so I'll make that segue into the workshop Wednesday.
He is so good at segues.
You are smooth, Mike.
I know, he's getting good.
See, I learned from you, Bruce.
We should change Michael's new nickname, should be Butter, because he's just smooth like butter.
All right. So, Bruce,
Okay.
tell us about Workshop Wednesday and what it is.
Okay. So Workshop Wednesday is a creation that came from a very good friend, a wonderful partner in the Christmas performer world, Sean White. Sean has the Claus Connect, which we'll be talking more about. So just teasing our audience that yes, there's more to this. So besides her Monday evening webcast, she has Throwback Thursdays, and now, and she just said one day, as you know, we were on our cell phones calling each other as we were driving in between meetings, which is basically how all of us talk in the consortium. Is I'm driving. She said, I think you should run and manage Workshop Wednesdays. And so I asked, well, what is Workshop Wednesdays? And I told her, I said, I have an aversion to power tools. I need to keep all my fingers. I'm still an active pianist. And we just laughed about it. And Sean just said, it needs to be some sort of a forum where people can share ideas. And every week is just a new topic, and just people can come, because there is just so much knowledge out there. And so this is our 3rd week with Workshop Wednesdays running, and it's been great response. And you know what I love about it is that for all 3 of us, it's a throwback to when we were in school, in university, which I know that most of us did show up to classes, Herbie.
I was there for the
I
test.
was there. I have a good attendance record. I want you to know that, Professor.
And but the Blackboard discussion boards, where like we were joking early about this, that that we would have to put in so many comments so that we got enough comments so we got our points for participating in the online discussion. Well, this is just great, because Workshop Wednesdays, I throw out a topic. Like this week, it's just how do you take care of your boots, belts, buckles, and bells?
Right. Well, let's do this, Bruce. I'm going to back you up just a little bit, because what happened is sometimes, especially as educator, we can talk because we have background knowledge on it. But let's say, give me a little bit of how the Workshop Wednesday works to those who have never ever. This is the first time they're ever hearing it.
Well, everyone should come online. And Sean will talk more about finding it. But what it is that a topic is thrown out. I will throw out a topic, or down the road, I'm hoping people will send me topics saying, we should explore this idea. And basically, I write a couple paragraphs, just about my take. I try not to tell people what to do or how to do it, because the knowledge is out there. And there's so many great ideas. There are so many different ways of looking at things. So like how do you prep your clothing?
Right.
What special tricks do you have to let the fur nap look great? Are there certain types of lint brushes that work better than others? Like one person wrote, she was incredible about she uses floral wire to make sure that her bows and that her collars look perfect. Oh my goodness,
Oh.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. So where can people join this message board? Where this forum?
If they go on to the Claus Connection, they will see this incredible community of people
In Facebook, right?
in oh, thank you, Facebook. So yeah, sorry, it's one of those Mensa games. I forget.
That's okay. I'm helping you. We're better together.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been locked up at the university too long, I think, this year. And so on Facebook, the Claus Connection, and you'll see all sorts of different things. Look up Workshop Wednesday, and you'll see the slide for it. There's information people just put in, and even if people just say, "Hey, I never thought of that," or "Have you thought about trying it like this?"
Mhm.
That's the whole point of it. So
That's right.
come on to the Claus Connection page on Facebook.
Hey,
No,
Michael, go ahead,
yeah.
Michael.
Well, the question I was going is, why is the connection so important to our community?
Well, you know what's nice is that it's not a webcast. It's not recorded. Um, it's not driven by, like, say, just us. It's driven by our community, and
Mhm.
the stories and the knowledge base is there.
That's right.
And what I love about it is that it's a group educational experience. So it's not one person saying you have to do this. People saying, I do this and it works for me. I've tried this. I wasn't successful, but I learned that if you did this way, it, you get a better result.
Yeah, I love sharing my best practice. Here's my best practice. This is what I find that works for me the best. And as personalities change, what works for me may not work for you. So that's why I think this board is so awesome.
Yeah, it's
You know?
it's wonderful, and I didn't expect how people would just jump on board, and the support and the community reinforcement that's taking place is so important because like we're living in a time worldwide where the importance of community is being challenged,
Yeah.
and if we can't stand together, um, I I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, you do bring up a good point with the concept that you know being a Christmas performer, and I'm addressing strictly Santa Claus at this point in time, is because so many people get started to it so late in life that they have all this experience and all this knowledge, but unfortunately they pass on without passing on the knowledge. And I think by you creating this forum, not only will you be able to get a lot of input, but there'll be a historical access to it because all you have to do is look back at the previous posts, and
Well,
you'll always have all that information there.
right, and also I hope that the people that do share and that this encourages people when you share and you do this type of education, you learn twice because if you need to, because to write down your comment, to take a couple photos and post that, you're actually teaching, and when you teach, you learn twice, which I
That's
think is so important.
Yeah,
Now,
it's those auditory learners, right? Some people, I think people go, well, I'm an auditory learner. I learn best by listening. But the studies show that you learn best by listening to yourself, not to the teacher. So that's why I love asking the questions saying, "So what do you think?" So when they come back and they say that, that's really when the learning for an auditory, that's when it happens at that moment when they're speaking, not when I'm speaking.
And this week, one of my last statements was that for those of you who are really great at doing video recordings, post a video about how to do this.
Hmm.
So Facebook is going to hate me because I'm going to clog it
boom!
with and brass.
Well, let's take a short break and let's run a dad joke. Does
Dad
that sound all
joke.
right? Okay, Herbie?
That sounds good to me. Who is the dad joke by today? Santa Jerry and Nancy Claus.
No, that was last week.
Well, then
thought
that's
I
not what the
changed it.
script says.
Wait, I thought I changed it in the notes, didn't I? Oh,
No.
no, this is not. Hang on, here we go.
Did you hear the one about making the bed? It hasn't been made yet.
hasn't been made yet.
Has not been made yet. Again, I don't know what's funnier, the dad joke or your face after the dad joke's being told.
I liked it.
Now we do have a question on here from Randy Wheelock here. It's what time on the Claus Connect?
In other
So
words, when do you post? When do you post your starting conversation topic?
I usually do it later Wednesday afternoon. I need to get myself on an early schedule, but I'm one of those people that'll stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, and that's when I'm most active. So I need. I know, yeah.
Dude, that's when I'm getting up. I go to bed at 9. I get up at 4, and I'm going. Bruce just went to bed an hour ago. Oh my!
I'm just having supper at 10 o'clock at night. No, I'm trying to get it so that Wednesday morning people can do their morning Facebook and have coffee, and then do Wednesday workshop.
That'll be good.
I'm getting there.
just to reiterate, the workshop Wednesday is based on the Facebook platform. So all you have to do is follow it and subscribe, and that way you'll receive posts and notifications when there's a new entry. And this way you can actually take part within the actual community itself. So
Thank you.
not a problem. So I hope that answers your question, Randy. So I'm just looking at some of these other comments here really quickly while we go ahead. Now just a lot of stuff.
Well,
we did have
AJ's on and Bill's on now,
well,
and Jerry's
but
on now.
there is one comment I want to point out. Santa Gregory Caskey Sr. was asked. I was asked on Saturday if I was the Santa at the Pit Splitters game. So,
well, that's a great example, because you know what? When children see us, they don't see Michael Howe, right? They see Santa or whatever. So then when they see you, it's Santa. When they see Sue, and so it was Greg at the game. Yeah, he was at the game. I remember, talking with him, but he was in his Boy Scout outfit, which was awesome because he also leads that. But I love, that's a great example where we're better together. I mean, Ted Flynn's got a great story with that too. You know what I mean? So it's one of those, as you're learning for you and also for your brothers and sisters around you, so yeah.
Well, but that's just it. I mean, the platform of, Workshop Wednesdays and the consortium and the different, like our show is, what we're trying to do is just bring all this information into like one central location. So we do have an exchange of ideas.
Right. And, the other thing is that we have to understand we're creating tomorrow's traditions.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to start logging all this stuff. We need to somehow make some sort of permanence so that it just doesn't get lost in the wind.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, we always talk about that as a Christmas performer. It's our job is to preserve the nostalgia, the memories, the magic.
Yeah.
But that comes with a lot of work in real life by making sure you get all the up-to-date information and you're sharing. Michael has a great story about a new prop and story we'll get into and maybe at another time. But these are the ideas, and this is the concepts that we all are trying to strive for.
You see, like tonight, all 6 of us, and our guests are also prime examples of how much work goes into our art. How much of our what I call our adult lives becomes part of our Christmas performers' lives. And it's so important that we have the sharing, like the idea that we sit under one person's tent and we crank out photocopies of what the idea is. We bring ourselves to it, and which is what makes it so wonderful. And that's what connects with people, is that it's about people. And like I've said already tonight, the knowledge is out there. We just have to be able to hold on to it and share it so that it's there for future generations.
Well, go on.
Nope, go ahead, Harvey.
Well, I like the idea too, is when we bring in our other guests, we are literally quartering. I mean, Dr. Bruce and Mike are both up in Canada. We have Betsy with us from Texas. And of course, Sean here from Michigan. We're covering 2 different countries with so many different traditions and so many localized traditions that this is a group, or this is an area where you should give some consideration to joining. Just with the knowledge base.
Can I say something really Canadian right now?
As long as it's not poutine, I'm good.
You're talking about two countries. I think our indigenous peoples don't talk about the two countries. They talk about Turtle Island. That
Mhm.
this whole landmass that we are one. And I think that's what shows like this, what Sean's doing, what Mike does on Monday afternoons, how Betsy's bringing people and families together. That's all that in Hawaii. What is it? The one Ohana,
Ohana?
the
Oh,
family.
yeah, Ohana.
All about that's what this is all about. So here on Turtle Island, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and we've got some videos to run to thank those people who helped the TNL network.
And then we get to meet the
let's see the rest
consortium.
of yeah, I like that.
we
Woohoo, consortium.
Here we go.
Are you going crazy managing clients, contracts, and invoices? Kringle Tracker is here to help you. Stay organized with ease. Keep your sanity in check with Kringle Tracker's intuitive tools to effectively manage your schedule and clients. Our seamless, customizable contract system allows you to tailor your contracts to you and your clients' needs. Prepare for tax time like a pro by tracking your income and expenses and generate reports to make it a breeze. Transform your Claus business by signing up for a free 20-day trial. Kringle Tracker was created by a Claus for the Claus community so you can focus on making magical memories for your clients. Head over to kringletracker.com and sign up for your free trial today.
All right, we're back. All right, Michael, I'll bring everyone in. I tried to bring a little difficulty. I was thinking that it would go to the dynamic screen. I tried to bring Mike in early, and he showed up on the commercial. So, all right, that was good.
That's
I'll let
because
you announce them, and then I'll bring them
Mike
in.
is famous. We have Phineas, also known as Mike. Then we have Betsy, and yes, I am going to mess up that last name, so I need my assistant, Madzieski. And then, of course, our own Sean White from the TNL Network. And, of course, Phineas is from the TNL Network as well. Welcome. Now, this is the brain trust of the consortium. Let's look at all of them in awe. Okay, that's good.
So how did this come about? How did the consortium happen?
Bruce, you got to take this one.
But I've been talking already for a half hour.
Yeah, but you started it.
Well, okay, so I bring Michael and Herbie because they, you guys are so supportive and so wonderful. And Maps, I am shocked that Maps keeps on inviting me and doesn't take me off their email lists or membership.
Never happened.
Last year, Maps invited actually Sean, Mike, and myself to be presenters.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're always looking for something different. How can we look at it in a different perspective? And one of the sessions, I wanted it to be much more interactive, but also showing how we can work with each other. Many Santas, many Mrs. Clauses, many elves trying to connect with each other, but there's there's not always an easy way in. So I just thought, hey, listen, I've got a couple bugs showing up, so let's just kind of play and see what can take place. So on the Saturday afternoon, our session was dealing with stage presence. And part of the dynamic, what we did was that we showed how three characters can equally be in a space, can interact equally without a hierarchy, and keep the audience active. Sean and Mike, I'll let you jump in there to just explain more and so forth, and how Betsy is now part of that.
Go ahead, Mike.
So when Bruce was talking about wanting to do this, the stage presence and stagecraft discussion on the Saturday afternoon, I had mentioned that I was bringing Phineas with me to the Red Suit Conclave because I wanted to get some photos done. And I said, so it would be just as easy for me to do that afternoon and schedule it. And then I said, I wonder if Sean has brought Mrs. Claus with her. And so Bruce asked Sean if she brought Mrs. Claus Vintage with her, and she had brought pretty much everything. And so we then proceeded to take a look at Bruce's presentation and then show how three people can do that presentation and do it without tripping in over each other and getting each other's way. But what also made it magical was that one of the staff of the event space we were in had brought her grandchild in because the grandchild was interested in seeing, finding Santa. And when she brought this young girl in, there was Bruce as Santa, and there was Phineas, and there was Mrs. Claus. So this young girl got to meet Santa, Mrs. Claus, and Phineas the Elf. And in the interaction that we had with this young girl, we showed how we take a room with over 100 people in it and make it down to just Santa and this little girl and bring the focus in. And when that happened, I had goosebumps on that. And so I was like, this is providence. This is definitely something that is the sign of something bigger, that we had this opportunity, and lo and behold, here we were able to show how Santa interacts with the child, how Mrs. Claus interacted with the child, and then when the child was done with her visit, how Phineas took the child, gave her back to her grandmother, gave her a little treat from her visit with Santa in the North Pole, and then we brought it back out to the larger group at large, and that was just sort of
And that was the first time that we had ever performed together, or that I had ever performed with either one of you. So it was like total improv, total just doing it, and a little bit nerve-wracking waiting to walk out there. So,
Yeah.
but we pulled it together and it really worked. So then we're in San Antonio and enters Betsy with us. And we spent a little more time trying to devise our stories a little bit with things that we wanted to make a point with what we were doing, because we still had a lot of the same concept that we wanted to show how we can all be equal, work together, and create this magic. And I personally was so in love with this whole thing that we're doing, like backstage, sitting in a whatever that was, a hallway, waiting to go on stage. Yeah, that was one of the best moments ever, and we just did it. There was no, we had not practiced or been on, and it was magic. So Betsy, I'll let you take over from here because you're the next part of this.
And I had never met Bruce actually before this moment that we went on stage. So that was what was such a kind of a remarkable thing with us all working. And I actually, to be completely honest, I didn't really know the Tooth Fairy walking into that. I met her. That character was launched from what we did on stage, and the improvisation that we did there, and how special that was. The chemistry between us all as actors in that space together. So after I had done the Tooth Fairy a couple times for dentists before that, but this really, finding the consortium and getting to be with creatives really does propel you into your own creativity. So after that, Sean and I were talking on the phone before, but and Bruce and Mike, all of that, just having people to bounce creative ideas off of was truly magical. And then the Tooth Fairy developed from there. So before that, I had played Mrs. Claus more and Mother Goose, but I just love the magic that happened there.
And it was, I want to make the point real quick that it was so magical that we left the room. We were done with what we were doing. We went out to sit and have a coffee at this cool area. They had to have coffee. And so, of course, everybody knows me, and they know I'm going to go live on TikTok or something fun. And we did. And we had, what was it, a couple thousand people live watching us have Starbucks together, the four of us. Can you imagine coming across this?
We were just sitting in a hotel lobby drinking Starbucks, and
It was so awesome.
interacting in character together and
In character.
on TikTok Live. So,
Well, I think the iceberg that you all hit, because I was present for like Bruce and Sean and Mike at the conclave last year. It's the concept of some of the Santa groups call the Highlander aspect, that there can only be one in that space. And being able to see each of you perform and interact, it made a lot of things that, from a discussion standpoint, really come into the limelight, you can say, because you could see how when we talk about improvisation, to trust one another, to share the spotlight, don't bring it all upon yourself, how each of you interpreted that and made you all shine. And there wasn't just one star. It wasn't the Santa show or the Phineas show or the Mrs. Claus or the Tooth Fairy. You all build each other up. You let each one shine at that particular moment. And these are the concepts or the examples that I think that the Claus community need to see, because it's something that you can talk about, but until you can actually see it and experience it, you don't understand it truthfully. And I think one of the things I love what you guys came up with was the collaborative play. And maybe you can actually explain what it is and how did it originate for some of our viewers out there.
Well, okay, I just want to just let people know that we just didn't totally just kind of think, well, let's just show up on stage and just hope that this works right and that the people will be understanding. A lot of conversation. Now, we didn't script what we were doing intentionally, because we wanted to make sure that it was a pure conversation. Because, come on, all of you know that I talk about improv as being the highest form of conversation. If you could hold a conversation, you can improvise. In San Antonio, we discussed, well, what are the Clauses doing that Saturday, February the 1st at 9:30 in the morning? What do you mean the Tooth Fairy is showing up for morning tea? What do you mean, Phineas, your Yeti's teething? What? Santa just wants to have a nice, quiet Saturday morning, and all these things are happening. And so with our backgrounds, we trusted our technique to carry us through. So this idea of collaborative play, that's where all this starts. And it comes from just trusting what your background is. Now, some people are going to say, well, I don't have a background in this. It's collaborative play. And I'm going to let my buds here talk about this.
Well, the way I view collaborative play, so when we were in Saginaw at the Red Suit Conclave, we had a rough outline of what we wanted to do, and then we had this child that just showed up randomly.
Yep.
And so how do we manage that? So Santa and Mrs. Claus were talking. Phineas goes and runs interference and says, "Hello, what are you doing here? Oh, would you like to meet Santa?" I then make eye contact with Santa and Mrs. Claus, indicate down to the young child, and then bring her up there. And at that moment, Santa turned down his energy, Mrs. Claus turned down her energy, Phineas definitely turned down his energy, and the child was the focus of the room.
And Mrs. Claus fell in love with Phineas at that point too. Just going to
Because-
add that in there. I love Phineas forever.
And so it is being collaborative play is playing with the people that you are set to play with, but it's also playing with the other collaborator, who is
Can I
the
also-
audience.
Can I also say, the attendees at the conclave, they were present. They were part of that moment, but they became transparent. And it was something that they subconsciously did. And like, I know that a number of you were there, but something happened that it wasn't about us. It wasn't about the conclave. It was about this one little girl. And the entire room made it happen.
Well, I go back to that experience, though, is your example, your collaborative play, I think set a goal that all the Christmas performers would like to actually achieve at one point. Because as you said, you weren't pawing for the audience. You weren't trying to basically include everybody. You did what we all should be doing, as making the child the most important person at that time. However, you still maintain the character, as you said, Bruce. What would the Clauses be doing at that time? And oh, here's a surprise, a child come in. Well, you know what? We're going to address the child. And again, for me, is when we do start talking about improvisation, is I always try to encourage that this is a safe space to play. I believe as adults, we forget how to play. And this is the problem that some of the Christmas performers actually have an issue with, is because they're so concentrated on being formal. Oops, I'm messing up again. Ooh. Boo.
Hand motion stuff.
No,
Surprise!
but what I was trying to get to is some of the performers spend so much time trying to become the perfect version of Santa.
Yeah.
We read everything. They want this thing, and they try. I mean, granted, copying somebody or copying a performer could be a compliment. However, each of us have our own strengths, and this is what I think you guys showed: is have fun, play, take the opportunity, and mold it. One of the questions that Michael did put in here is how does reflection and journaling shape our development of our North Pole, and how does this tie into the academia?
Well, before we go to that question, let's go.
No, that's a good question.
Oh, I know it is. I want to get back to it, right? But let's run our Santa Closet giveaway.
Well, is it that time already?
Oh yeah, it's
oh my goodness.
So here, let's do that, and then we'll come back to that question.
Are you going crazy managing clients, contracts, and invoices?
Or Santa's Closet has been committed to providing unique, high-quality accessories for Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the entire Claus community. Our mission is to deliver exceptional customer service and outstanding value, offering competitive pricing and a wide selection of products designed to enrich the Claus experience.
Okay, we're back. All right, Herbie, are you ready? I'll read the question, and then you watch the comments. Are you ready?
No, I think it just had a guardian angel come in here because I just had bells go off or something. So angels must have got lots of wings. All right, you're going to read the question. I am watching chat, so let's go do this.
All right, here we go. So what U.S. state uses the melody from Old Tannenbaum for their state song? What U.S. state uses the melody of Old Tannenbaum for their state song? As people are frantically searching.
Everybody's trying to basically say, I can't copy and paste this into Google, so I have to type it really quickly.
All right, no comments yet. Wait, we're coming.
Oh, no, Sandy says Michigan.
Michigan.
Not Michigan, but
oh, you silly girl, you.
I'd love to know where you're from, Sandy. Uh, I don't know what low is, but that must be Iowa. Nope, it's not Iowa.
No.
Jenny Kringle, forget an A. Oh, and we have a
Oh.
winner, but we have an issue here. I have to
Oh.
check something here because I think the person who won just a little bit while ago.
All right, we're keeping an eye on there. I forgot to run the. If I see Kane as the
Yeah.
next one.
Yep. So Kane, that'd be our winner.
All right. Sorry, Jeffrey. I forgot to read the rules. The answer is Maryland. In other words, if you've won in the last, how many days did they tell us?
Actually, no, I take that back. Jeff is qualified.
Oh, okay, good.
Jeff
Oh,
is qualified.
awesome. All right. Sorry, Cade. Yay, Jeff. All right. Sorry for the misconfusion. But if you would please, we'll clean this up a little bit. If you'll send us your name and address and your t-shirt size to kringlebrothers2@gmail.com, we'll forward that to Wade and they'll send you a wonderful gift from Santa's Closet. And if while you're out there, check out santascloset.org. They have lots of wonderful sales. I always like checking the sales rack, but there's a lot of stuff, especially as the Santa season's heating up. Can you imagine? It's going to be August.
I know, it's August on Friday, and you know what that also means? In a week and a half, we're going to be in Nashville.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So send us that information if you would, and we'll get it back. We'll get it forward and get it off. And thanks for watching and playing. And thank you, Santa Closet, for giving the community a wonderful gift. We appreciate it a lot.
Now, since we have about 14 minutes to go, do you want to do your awesome, fantastic, ever knowledge Christmas fact?
Well, you know what? We'll do it really quick because your question that you had before was really good. I'm not going to try to. I'm having technical difficulties with my fingers tonight. I'm not going to try to play my sound. But for my Canadian brothers, I did some searching for Christmas facts for you. And here's the Christmas fact that the Toronto Santa Claus Parade is one of the oldest and largest in the world. And it's dating all the way back to 1905. Can you imagine it starting 1905 and,
No, I can't.
and huge,
I
right?
can't because I wasn't born.
So that's the Christmas fun Santa fact for tonight for our Canadian brothers. They celebrate in the largest Christmas parade, which I should have looked up to see compared to Macy. I bet it rivals Macy's parade.
Well, it probably does. I mean, Toronto's a great place.
Now, Phineas and Bruce, have you guys seen this parade yet?
Definitely have. It is a mainstay. People watch it across Canada. It is going to be the 120th anniversary this year, and they have well over 100,000 participants each year.
Wow.
And there's usually around 2 million along the parade route.
So now we can do that, and that was the rest of the story. Yeah, that would be great. That was this. All right, go back to your journal question, Michael. That was a good question.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can get you into movie promos. That was a good. Yeah. No, you. Just then back to our story. You would be good for daytime soaps. But anyway.
Can you imagine if there was all right, surely you got okay. No, back to the question. Question.
Now this would be this. Oh, this. Okay, I got a hissing in my ear, and I don't know what that's from. This would be interesting from the consortium standpoint here. What about developing a North Pole soap opera starring the Clauses and a bunch of elves?
Oh. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
If we all just lived a little bit closer, wouldn't that be an interesting concept? Because I think I'd make a good Yeti.
All right. I'm going to go back to Mike's question because we're very limited in time. In journaling, it was the journaling question, Michael.
Yes. How does reflection in journaling shape our development of our North Pole, and how does this tie into academia? I think I'd just like to say academia.
And Betsy, do you feel comfortable answering that first?
I can start, yes.
All
and
right.
Bruce can take it from there. But academia makes me think of Bruce. So I think reflective journaling is so important. In fact, I do it after every event I do, and then at night I do a lot of it in character. It is truly how I get my own character, development. But in addition, I do a lot of reflective journaling about my relationship with Phineas or my relationship, not to creep anybody out, but I do. I do that because I think that part of the thing about being comfortable on stage is just filling yourself with who you're up there with and what is your relationship. I know my relationship with Mrs. Claus as the tooth fairy, but I think the place sometimes, and I learned this when I was working in my theater degree, that we kind of shortchange some is the reflective piece and actually looking at our characters, the things we develop, especially when it comes through improvisation.
Yeah. Anybody else want to respond?
I want to just add something from when we were previously talking and being on stage and all of this. It helps with, like, I work with different Santa Clauses. And to know that you can all treat each other equally, it makes it real easy just to step up there and act with the others. So if we learn these type of things, I think it will help everyone. Solo Mrs. Clauses, Santas that want to work with others, elves that want to work, the whole thing. So I just wanted to add that it is important.
Yeah, and just to clarify, because I think also to debunk and demystify academia, um, the Claus Consortium, basically the idea behind it is very simple. It's basically four things. We look at the traditions, then we start to wonder, well, what is the tradition really? Why did it happen? So that causes us to research. Then from that research, we then practice what was being done, what was being shared, which then goes into our performance. And then the reaction at the performance from all of our guests turns that into the tradition, which then goes back to the research, goes back to practice, goes to performance. So this whole thing circles around. And the thing about academia, like we have specialized ourselves to a level that it's such a private club. Academia is looking at someone's journal entry about Christmas back in 1843, and just making comments and trying to dig into, like, what was the intention, like, why did everyone get so fascinated that Prince Albert had a Christmas tree at Windsor Castle? Why did that become such a big tradition?
Yeah.
So, and just looking at people's journals, and then our comments, our reflections that we write, or when we share stuff, when we're at conferences, at workshops, the application, that's the academia. So guess what, everyone out there, if you attend a school, if you think about what you're doing, if someone influences you, makes you try something, you're a member of academia. You don't need to.
Or if you're Kane Smith macadamia, but that just means you're a cookie.
Or nuts.
That's a really good cookie too.
I would just like to say, friend, this is my personal opinion here, and this goes out to all our viewers and future viewers. The individuals on this call embody probably some of the best performers when it does come to the Claus community and performing in a general sense of the word. If you had any questions, I highly recommend you join the consortium, follow Sean on her show, as well as take any opportunity that you get to see these four individuals in action. You will be left saying, wow, but just remember, you all can do this. It's not difficult. You just got to let yourself just have fun with it.
Yeah, we get bent out of shape. And one of the things that I love you guys coming on and sharing is that I know that not everyone learns the exact same way. right? I know I don't. I'm dyslexic, so I have to literally find ways to get that information different. So I have an audiobook description, and I listen to tons of audiobooks and things. But it's I found that because the information's important, but I struggle with the reading. You know what I mean? But I want to get it in. So the journaling, it's not an easy gig, but I don't remember what I had for dinner Monday night. So if I don't journal, I'm going to lose so many great moments of sitting in the chair, of how many times I've responded back going, oh, that's a great response. I don't want to forget that. So I literally will force myself to write it down so I don't forget those things. So that's an encouragement, from at least this corner of the screen. So it's hard to believe that our time's here. Any last encouragements from each of you? Sean, why don't you go first?
There's a lot of things I could say. I think most importantly, and I say this on my show every week, is that we're doing this for the children. It's for the children, and anything we can do and help each other to help that process, development, whatever it may be. It's when it comes down to it, it's for the kids, for all the children. The group on Facebook is called the Claus Connect. So join that group. We're up to 1,400 people right now. People from all over the world. It's really growing. We don't have really any problems on there or anything. Everybody's getting along just fine. We're learning together. Yeah. So we don't have to do a whole lot. It's working.
Cool.
And the other thing is for my shows that are on Mondays, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it on the Claus Connect or Tuesday Night Live broadcast, then it's on YouTube. It's Shaun White, the Claus Connect. It'll be on there every day the next morning. I put it right on there. So you can go through all these shows. These guys have all been on there. I need Mike to be on there, but we'll get to that.
So, yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
So the Claus Connect, you can find us. You can find all four of us and information out there. So thank you, guys.
So Phineas, any last encouragement that you'd like to share?
We've had heady discussions about the word consortium, about academia, but the main thing that we would like people to understand is that what we do is collaborative play. And so you could call it improvisation, but what we are doing is we are doing collaborative play. We're playing with each other. We are playing with the audience. We are playing with everybody in the room. To answer Stephen Kieran's question, the name of the Facebook group is the Claus Connect, empowering the Christmas
The
performance.
North Pole, yeah.
Yep. So that is the name of the Facebook group. There is no Claus Consortium website yet, and I will say yet. We're working on things. We're just getting this off the ground. But that's the main thing, is that we play, and we do have a set idea of what we are going to do when we get together, but it's not a script.
Yeah.
And it is almost like a wish list of what
I like that wish list. I like that. And Miss Betsy, how about you?
I was just going to say quickly, let the children lead. That's my big, Sean's about listen to the children, and also just be comfortable in yourself to just let go, let them lead, and find some really positive, supportive people in your community, because it has made all the difference in my Christmas performer life. So.
Awesome.
Now,
And Michael, can I say that all four of us are on the Claus Connect on the Facebook page? The four of us are in charge of the page, so it's not just me, so everybody knows.
Okay.
Now, I have a question now. Bruce, Sean, and Phineas, are you all going to Red Sioux Conclave again this year?
I cannot.
Okay.
Nope. I can't.
All right. So,
all right. Wait a second. Let's get Dr. Bruce in, or I should say Dr. Santa.
Dr. Santa?
Okay. On a different idea here. I saw in the comments, I hope I'm pointing to the right side for everybody, what's he pointing at? People asking, well, but I'm just a single performer. How Michael and I became extremely good friends was that during the lockdown, on Zoom, we would actually just call each other up and practice and do improv and play. And what was great about it was that we both couldn't be Santa, so we had to play different characters, which is also a really great way of doing it. And Michael does a wonderful 5-year-old girl who's about to have a temper tantrum. So, but just practice. You don't think, well, I'm not working with a dedicated. One of your friends here, and this is the whole thing about the Claus Connect, is that you're building the community. TNL, there's the community there. The different groups that you're members of, act on that. Work with each other. Call each other up. Practice.
Yeah, that's right. It's just, you hear the word play a lot, and let me encourage you. And, we need to be childlike, but not childish. So don't get mixed up with the thing that if you're practicing, you're doing these things that you're being childish. No, you're learning an important component of the life that we've forgotten, to be childlike. And I think that's extremely, extremely important. So Herbie, any last words before we go?
Well, right before we go, just as a reminder, if you'd like to suggest any topics, ideas, or guests, please reach us at kringlebrothers2@gmail.com. Also, I just want to also point out, please, if you like what you saw today, follow us on Facebook, like us and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can see both of those on the screen at this time. And I would just like to give a special thank you to Dr. Bruce, Phineas, Betsy, and Sean White. Thank you so much for joining
thanks for
us.
coming, you guys.
Thank you for enlightening us and sharing. You guys are all experts in the field, and I'm so glad I can call each of you a friend.
Yes.
Thank you to the TNL production team, Bob, Spangle, Scott, and Angela, and also to our contributors, Larry Talbert, Santa Roger Mitten of Kringle Tracker, Wade and Scarlett, and Caboots. And of course,
a huge big thank you to our lovelies, Linda and
Stacy.
You're
getting better
with that one.
And also to you, the viewer. Just remember, we do this so we can be in touch with each and every one of you, share with you, and hopefully, as we said at the beginning of the show, we are better together.
Yes, we are. So until we meet again, may all your days be jolly, your hearts be light, and your kindness always shine bright.
And may the spirit of Christmas live in you every day of the year. Remember to be good, spread joy, and always believe.
Merry Christmas to all,
and to all a good night.
We
did it.
Merry Christmas.
Party! Woohoo! All right. Anyone got a good dad joke to send us off?
Well, I don't want to ruin yours from tomorrow, so I don't want to say anything.
All right. Well, Phineas has got somebody with him.
Oh!
Aww.
Is that a reindeer squishy?
This is a chicken nugget who has decided that it wanted to be a reindeer. So
it's funny.
Chicken nugget.
Chicken
I
nugget.
love it.
Chicken, banana.
Chicken,
banana.
There is a web comic called Sad Nuggy, and the Sad Nuggy is a series of chicken nuggets who are facing the inevitability of what they are, and so they're trying to escape their fate. So some have become dinosaurs, some have become cats, some have become reindeer, and so the owner of Nuggy sent Phineas a chicken nuggy reindeer.
That's a hoot. Thanks for bringing that up.
I love that.
It's funny.
That's great.
All
And
right.
you know what? What's still funny is we had 55 viewers joining us tonight, according to the thing, and we still have 38 with us.
I know.
cool.
I think
I
we're
know.
going
I
about the
can't wait for
afterglow
that to go
party.
off.
But the bosses are here. We got Bob and Scott here, so we got to be on our best
Oh,
behavior.
do we?
Oh,
No, we
okay.
don't. Oh, Sister Claus was with us too.
Oh, hi, Kimberly. I love you. That's my sister. She's so funny.
Oh.
She goes by Sister Claus to all of her
Oh.
kids, and they go, "Well, your last name's not Claus," and she goes, "Well, I got married," and it's like, so she's got all the kids believing at her church that where she does stuff that she's Sister Claus. So that's awesome.
And,
Oh,
Sean, just to let you know, Jenny Kringle did put a post in there that basically said, "Thank you, Sean, for all you do in support for Mrs. Claus."
I'll send her a
Oh,
message.
that's awesome.
That's
So thanks again, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Claus